What's up, everybody? Xavrun here, and today we're jumping back into Gods of Savvara. This will be the fourth video in the series, and I do want to give a quick preface. So what I did this time is, instead of reading all the story all the way up to the arena section, right, none of the dialogue changes all the way up to that point. However, the arena is where all the differences occur. So I did make some different choices at that point, and we'll jump in and see how that went. I do want to thank Kaz for bringing to my attention the audio levels. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the way I have it set up now. I think it sounds pretty good. I didn't realize that my vocal level was almost exactly the same as what the game audio is. So yeah, if you have any more suggestions to help make the content better, higher quality, let me know. And if you have any other games or suggestions of games that you might think that I would enjoy or that you would enjoy seeing me play, go ahead and leave that in the comments as well. And we're going to go ahead and jump in. Continue. Yeah, see, it's just those two. We'll try it again. I mean, there's obviously achievements in the game, and I haven't figured out how to get yet, but I'm not sure. Maybe there's something you can click in the background, but it just usually skips the dialogue. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. We'll figure it all out, though. We'll get through this together. We'll get it all squared away. We'll rip out the tooth. Oops. Right click opens a quick menu. I'll jump in the arena. Off. Kahira is very close and alive. Oh, this is different. Okay. You are here for me? Yeah, for you. For you. How mad of you. Thank you. I'll help. Accept the help. Okay, so I think this is where we figured out the new endings. All right. The beast looked fearsome, a huge trunk with a fanged jaw. They had more chances together. Kahira is of the Savvarah tribe. They are fast and dexterous. Distract him. So we got the tank and the DPS. That's perfect, right? Like a rogue and a warrior. Kahira nodded. Hosfa was startled to see how quickly she sprinted towards the beast. He thought she'd been exhausted before he even jumped into the arena. She dashed past the giant's paws, deftly evading the swing. The beast lunged in pursuit, relentlessly reducing the distance between them. Finally, it overtook Kahira. She managed to dodge his punch. The beast's sluggishness allowed to catch breath, but it never tired or slowed down. And again, as if it was a living rock, the monstrous creature was hurtling straight towards Kahira. Rear attack. The paws of the beast rushed towards Kahira. She dodged at the last moment. The teeth of the beast snapped at the air. He mustn't be distracted. He must trust Kahira. Otherwise, they both die here. All right, this is getting really good, actually. Okay, I'm glad we found this. He had no real weapon, just teeth, claws, and the beast's fang for a dagger. The neck of the beast is too stout. It won't be possible to strangle him. Cut his Achilles, dude. Hosfa jumped on the back of the beast, gasped at his hide with sharp claws. Another blow. Now the claw went straight into the neck. There you go, hit that jugular vein. The hide was thick, but the beast could definitely feel the pain. The monster shook its head furiously from side to side. Kahira tried to distract the beast. She got too close and was struck by its huge paw. Oh no. Attack the monster. Maybe we could save her. Hosfa managed to stay focused. Hearing her shriek, he seized the moment to plunge the fang into the beast's eye. The monster flailed from side to side. It roared and whirled. Crashed against the arena wall. Tried to reach Hosfa. The lizard clawed at the back of the monster's head, ripping its throat apart. Ripping its throat apart. We're gonna pretend like the isn't there. When it was over, Hosfa was breathing heavily. His fingers went numb. He was covered in blood of the beasts. He could feel the metallic taste of blood in his mouth. Hosfa struggled to get off the corpse. Did his body not obey him? Or his body did not obey him? I don't know why I read that as a question. His legs staggered, but he found the strength to run up to Kahira. She was alive, sitting on the ground. She, too, was covered in blood. Her own. It's alright. Or I'm alright. It's nothing. Cool. Arrogance. We got something. It didn't look like nothing. At the same moment, a bright light illuminated the arena, as if the sun became brighter. Much brighter. Ooh, look at this. Hosfa raised his head. He squinted, but still tried to look up. Akatal himself rose from the throne. Lord of heaven and earth, master of masters, God in the flesh, sovereign of Savvarah. Though Hosfa could only see a menacing silhouette wrapped in bright rays, he knew it was Akatal. All were silent. Even the masters, who imagined themselves to be gods, bowed before Akatal's majesty. For your victory, I grant you permission to live. Hosfa didn't even notice the lizards appearing in the arena. The other lizards appearing in the arena. He was led into the dark underground corridors. Kahira was also taken away. She seemed to have lost consciousness. Their journey through the tunnels was not too long. Eventually, they found themselves in a spacious dark room that was lit by numerous torches and what appeared to be slits in the ceiling. Look at them all. Hosfa heard of the catacombs. They looked imposing. It was like an underground city of the Savvarians, or, to be more precise, an enormous prison without cages or chains. Hosfa was left to himself, but Kahira was taken elsewhere. Hosfa followed. Where are you taking her? To the healer. Do you have a healer here? Yes. Hosfa followed them, looking around. There was a great many lizards, all from different tribes. The young and decrepit, old, the healthy, and the crippled, some could even be mistaken for dead. Hosfa noticed that many of the lizards were looking at him. They were whispering something, pointing in his direction. Hosfa and the guards finally arrived at the right room. It was separated from the rest of the quarters with a cloth of light gray color. There were numerous torches inside. The healer was a lizard from the Gaka tribe. Short, big-eyed, apparently no longer young. The lizards did not say a word to the healer. He also went silent. The guards just nodded to each other and then went out of the room, leaving Kahira behind. So, you must be the one who jumped in the arena. That was me. When will she get better? Yeah, when will she get better? Will she get better? I see. So, is this about her? Yeah. Yes, it is. It's something none of us expected. Who are you? They call me Duhill. I'm the healer. Are you an arena lizard? The answer is both yes and no. I used to be a servant of Akatal himself. He gave me the permission to go here a long time ago, with no hope of returning. So, you're here by choice? I am. Do you fight in the arena, or you don't fight in the arena, do you? I don't, but I can leave this place. I can't leave this place either. Why did you come here? I'd hate to dig up old memories, brother. You don't need to be here. Someone wants to talk to you. Someone? Yes, exactly. Outside. I can't leave her. You can't help her now, and you'll only distract me. Hosfa did not want to leave Kahira here, but Dunhill was right. He was of no use to the healer anyways. Outside, a lizard from the Hanka tribe was waiting for him. There was no doubt he was still the one Duhill was talking about. You surprised all of us. Were you the one waiting for me? Right, I'm Aul. Hosfa, can you watch the pit from here? The guards usually keep us updated, not to mention how much gossip you caused. Hosfa, let's get away from here. I can't leave here. Why? Lead the way, sure. Why? Aul lowered his voice to a whisper. Can't be talking here. Look at all the lizards around us. I don't want them to listen. They did not walk long. Aul turned abruptly into one of the dark rooms. Hosfa entered cautiously, fearing to accidentally run into something sharp. Hosfa was not afraid to be attacked. There was no point in hiding from the masters, or if the masters wanted to dispose of him. The smell was acrid and unpleasant these days. In these caves, the lizards apparently both ate and slept. There were bones rotting here, some bits of already inedible meat and fruits trampled into the ground. Aul sat on the ground. Hosfa joined him. We had our doubts, but you impressed us so much that I convinced others to initiate you. What are you talking about? You know, there are lots of Savvarians here who don't want to die at the whim of their masters. And most of those who cowardly whisper about hatred for the masters, even in these very caverns. You are whispering yourself now. I am, but the majority of us hope for their mercy. And I whisper because I can't trust anyone, not even my own kind. But why do you trust me? You jumped right into the arena to save a female, knowing that such an act would not be forgiven. I can't help trust you. And what is it that you want? Well, some other Savvarians and I are going to run away, and I want to give you a chance to join us. Run away? Hosfa needed some time to process what he had heard. To not just disobey, but to deliberately stand up against the masters. Is there any chance of success? Hosfa has seen what the creators are capable of. The citizens of the city of the sun were gods compared to the Savvarians. I understand. I really do. You think it's crazy. I was ready to accept death myself until I met an old lizard who was spending his last days here. He remembered the old war, one with old wars with the horned ones. I think he was the only one who survived to this day, and he knew a great deal about our masters. The masters are not so powerful outside of Savvarah, nor are they omnipotent. Here in Savvarah, we just need to get out of here without any of them finding out. How do you know this is true? And where is this lizard? Alas, he did not live to witness this conversation. And besides, to rot here or to believe it and try to escape. Which one is better? Hosva did not know what to say. I understand you need to think about it, but we're leaving tomorrow night. There is a risk that they will try to get rid of you as quickly as possible, but we're not going to run away tonight. Besides, you're not going anywhere without your female, are you? I'm not. But wait, so you trusted a dying old man? Of course not, but after hearing what he'd said, I'd wondered. And, you know, everything suddenly fell into place. You must have seen the ring of clouds above our land. If there is indeed no limit to our master's powers, why do clouds still exist outside of Savvarah? Good point. Why do they exist at all? And that's not the only thing. I'm from Honka. I can become almost invisible. My masters once put me in charge of his garden. That's when I began to live apart from the other servants, and at night I wandered around secretly, sometimes even in the master's house. My sorties were short at first, but then I could walk freely around the house. Sometimes I'd climb up on the ceiling and found myself very close to the masters, and I heard what my master and mistress were telling their children and what they were discussing among themselves. I heard about the world outside of Savvarah. I heard about the winged lizards which even our masters feared, and I heard that behind the power of the masters there was some teacher who existed beyond the boundaries of our universe. I learned that this world was vast. I learned that we lived within the confines of a small cage. I learned that we all were unfree. You and I, we are slaves. But we are pets of our masters, but they are nothing more than slaves themselves. The masters can't leave here. There is something beyond, or something here in Savvarah that even they are afraid of. Very interesting. Akatal? Us. I mean, if we uprose, right, that would be absolutely detrimental to the well-being of the Lyoka. But Akatal also. Let's see what he says. What is this? So you don't know? I thought you understood. It's Akatal. See, that's kind of what I thought. The ruler of the sky and earth, the lord of the sun. Masters are slowly and inevitably getting older, yet he never changes. The masters are terrified of him, and I heard that even they consider him a god on earth. My master was once discussing it with his brother in a low voice, and he said that then that Akatal was the only disciple who knew all the secrets. And I've also heard that the masters walk on the ground or ride on a palanquin so as not to offend Akatal. Haha, that makes sense. Okay, see, I thought they were being pompous jerks. Like, oh, I'm not gonna float around even though I can. I'm gonna make the servants carry me around on my palanquin. No. They're afraid of Akatal. They don't want to step on toes. Only the Lord can walk over the earth. Was what my master said. Back then, I decided that I didn't want to live in a cage anymore. I wanted to run away. I wanted to run with one female, trusted her, confide in her. Eul spread his arms, grinning crookedly. Well, I was not as lucky as you. She wanted to be the eldest of the house, not a runaway lover. We deserve an animal life. Yes, perhaps. But I still want to see the world outside of Savvarah. I want to feel free. What about you? Don't you want it? I do. Otherwise, I would have jumped into the arena. I'll give you time to think. I'm sure neither you nor your female will be fighting tomorrow. Well, she's not my female, but, you know, I don't own her. So, and tomorrow, you will give me your answer. All right. Eul left, and for some time Hosva sat in the darkness and silence. One step suddenly changed his whole life. Hosva wondered what would have happened if he decided differently. Kahira would have been torn apart, and he would have gone back to Nair abode. He would carry the master on his back, work on the plantation, and hunt with the master's son. Perhaps with proper care, he would live to be Ushad's age. Perhaps he would even become a main servant, who, however, can be disposed of for any fault. And even without one, now he didn't even remember himself at the moment of his jump. The lizards of the arena saw it in some heroic impulse. They had no idea what he was, or that he was just mad with fear. But he didn't feel that fear now. Reason told him that he should have been afraid, but Hosva refused to give in to panic. He said in the darkness, diluted by the light of the many torches, Providence itself prevented him from falling into utter darkness, extending a pale hand of light to him. Escape was a crazy idea, but the dream of a free life outside of the sunny nightmare seemed so beautiful that Hosva involuntarily began to draw some impossible landscapes in his mind. He could only guess what the world outside his homeland looked like. Hosva stood up. He must get back to Kahira. His heart was beating all over again. He was uneasy. The conversation with Aul had distracted him a little, but now he found himself back at Duhil's place. Ah, it's you. Hosva. Her voice was weak, but she didn't look too bad. Is she alright? She is. We Savvarians are not easy to kill. I will leave you for a while. Hos, what did you... I can't even put into words. What happened? You were thrown into the arena because of me. One of the servants told them about our meetings, and then I was given to this, Crocus, and I was supposed to mate with him. Akir forgave me. You see? No way. You killed him. Hit him in the neck with a sharp stone, and then was the arena. Most lizards have resigned themselves to their slave position, and it's not just indifference; it's the advocacy of slavery, the indifferent attitude towards each other, or worse, the desire to harm one another solely for the gain or to gain favor with the masters, who are impeccable of appreciating such a gesture anyways. It's over. Is it? I'd be happy if it were true, but we're arena lizards now. Now we die in the arena or in these catacombs. This is not the life I wanted to spend with you. Hosva did not notice any despair in her eyes or her voice. At that moment, he inadvertently remembered what particularly attracted him to Kahira. Almost called her Akira. Perhaps they were always ready for such a thing, though they never admitted it. We are running away from here. Run away? Hos, you're such a dreamer. And he told her everything that Aul had told him. There was bewilderment in Kahira's eyes. One couldn't blame her for that. Hosva himself could hardly believe that they could go against the will of the masters and escape their punishment. But by the minute, he was getting more and more used to the idea. Gradually, the idea of escaping from the city of the sun began to seem completely natural and normal. Hosva even began to wonder why such a thought never occurred to him before. Hosva already knew the answer he'd give Aul. They fell asleep on the floor. He was dreaming of the wind. It was blowing in his face, cool, unpleasant, stiff. Such wind never blows in the city of the sun. It was easy to breathe. There were no trees around. The open fields of grass faded to yellow. The sky was gray. Hosfa could see the sun, or could not see the sun. He was watching the chaotic clouds, which he had never seen before. And they were beautiful. Hos. Look at that cute little baby. He turned around. Kahira was standing nearby. She had a tiny creature in her arms. It had a dark scales, short tail, a pair of large eyes. As he took a step towards her, the clouds, which seemed so heavy and hard, cracked open, and the brightness of the sun fell on Kahira and the baby. The silence was broken by an eerie scream of Kahira as her body began to melt. Oh no, look at that. The path of light led to a figure between the clouds. He was blinded by the bright light. And then he opened his eyes. Hosfa was breathing heavily. The pounding of his heart echoed in his mind. He felt kind of unnatural confusion. It was strange to suddenly see impenetrable darkness instead of the bright light. The dream was so real he could feel the scalding heat, even though it was dark and damp in the caves. Hosfa twitched when Kahira put her hand on his shoulder. "What's the matter, Hos?" "I had a nightmare." "A nightmare? What was it about?" "I saw you, our child, and Akatal." "Did something happen to me?" "It's just a nightmare." "And what did our child look like?" "I didn't get a chance to see it up close, but I'm sure it would have been beautiful, just like you. And as brave, just like his father." "Only brave?" "Much more than just brave. And it will be like that. If we survive. I bring good news." Hosfa shuddered. Duhill seemed to appear out of thin air. "Neither you or Kahira will be in the arena today. I think the masters want to set up something between you two when Kahira gets better. I'm sure your master insists on punishment because of their wounded pride. Duhill, can you arrange a meeting with Eul for us?" "Are you ready to see him? Are you ready to answer him? All right, I'll help." "Oh, so Duhill knows what's going on too." Hosfa and Kahira returned to the room where Hosfa had previously met with Eul. Eul was already waiting for them somewhere in the dark. It was almost impossible to see him. He wasn't alone. There were other lizards sitting among the walls. "Hosfa, I'm glad you decided to find me yourself, even though it was risky. What made you think that Duhill could be trusted? Last time, he knew you wanted to meet me. I'm sure you knew him quite well." "That's true. Duhill is helping us, even though he's not going to run away." "Is he not?" "Duhill is kind. I think he wants to help our people. He is favored because he is Akatal's personal servant. There aren't that many of you. I carefully pick those I can trust. The stories of many of us, including your own, teach us that not all of our brothers can be trusted. Many still expect forgiveness of their masters. We have guards on our side. They will help us. How have you managed to persuade them?" "I got a trick or two up my sleeve. We leave at sunset. My friend will stop by and pick you up." Hosfa and Kahira were once again left alone in the dark. Other Savvarians scurried about the passageway. Some even peeped into the room, but walked past, noticing Hosfa and Kahira's dark silhouettes. Kahira hugged Hosfa, cuddling up to him. He held her gently. "Do you think we'll make it? Can we live happily outside of Savvarah?" Of course. Of course I think we will. I don't know. I really don't know. But this is the answer I'm going for. Of course we will. We all will. I'm a little afraid. Afraid that all of this will prove to be part of the punishment prepared for us by the masters. That's kind of what I was thinking too. As if they gave us hope just to take it away. I know what you mean. It had crossed my mind too. But there is little choice for us. If we don't take our chances, we'll just die, either in the arena or right here underground. I think the same way. They spent the whole day together snuggled up. Hosfa dreamt of sitting like this, not not hiding from the others, not thinking about what someone would say about it, the masters or the Savvarians. And now no one cared about them at all. The lizard's guard the lizard's guard looked in on him. Hosfa understood that was one of the allies. They followed him. Hosfa noticed that the other lizards were joining them one by one. They were moving at a different pace and at a different distance from each other, all in the same direction. He recognized some of them. They were present when he talked to Aul last time. They were now approaching a wall, which looked quite ordinary and indistinct. Two guards stepped in. The earth wall split, opening a large crevice. The Savvarians divided inside. Freedom was just about 10 feet from them. Hosfa followed the others. Aul wasn't to see among them. Maybe it wasn't seen among them. He might have rushed forward. He was anxious to see the world outside Savvarah. Suddenly, Hosfa noticed fear in the lizard's eyes. The tunnel was getting narrow. The wall behind them has already closed up, cutting off the way back, and the way out was blocked by the guards. What did Aul say? On our side? It's unlikely. They had to act quick. Stun the guards. Our brothers often betray each other, but I do not want to stoop to traitors and the masters. We can stun them, can't we? The fight was over quickly enough. They left the guards in the tunnel and finally emerged on the surface. The city was quiet. Servants rarely wandered around the city at night, only the ones assigned to some night tasks. The masters rarely showed themselves at night either. They moved quietly between the walls and rare houses. They say Akatal sometimes likes to sit in silence, so the arena is almost exactly adjacent to the damp forest. Suddenly, there was a scream near the arena. They ran. Hosfa sprinted. Kahir was keeping up with him. They had to cross the forest as quickly as possible. The fact that the land of Savvarah itself did not rebel against them meant that the masters were not yet aware of their escape. There was terror in the eyes of many of the fugitives. Hosfa felt his heart beating frantically, not from running, but because of a foreboding sense of disaster, a peal of thunder. They knew it was not an element that tried to stop them. It wasn't not the elements that tried to stop them, but they continued running. On the contrary, they ran even faster, even though it seemed not possible. The ground trembled, tree branches twisted unnaturally, and they were shaking or snaking their way to the Savvarians. There was howling and growling everywhere. Wild animals were now on a hunt for them, but it was just a prelude. The trees began to twist, whipping spear-like branches. Hosfa thought they were trying to block their way, but out of the corner of his eye, he saw branches of a low tree pierce through the sky, through the body of another fugitive. Hosfa grabbed Kahira by the arm. He tried to keep her in sight. They managed to pass between the trees, though they slowed their pace a little bit. The chasms opened up in the ground. One of the fugitives fell into such a chasm. The ugly, earthy mouth immediately closed in on him, crushing his bones. Breaking the trees as it ran, a beast of the kind they saw in the arena rushed in to separate the lizards from each other. 3 lizards, including one fugitive guard, were killed in one move. It was madness. Hosfa could not even fathom he was still alive. Hos! Her foot landed in a rapidly narrowing hole. Hosfa grabbed Kahira by her belt. He pulled her out, perhaps even too hard. Jaws managed to grasp her foot, but Hosfa literally ripped it from the ground's grasp. Kahira screamed. Hosfa immediately realized that she would not be able to walk without even looking at the mess her foot turned into. He threw Kahira onto his back. She clung on tightly to him. Her breathing was shallow, but she was alive. He ran. He ran as fast as he had before. Kihiro's quite light to him. Damn. Both the lizard's legs were pierced by the branches. He was barely standing on all fours. Hosfa hesitated for a moment, slowed in peace. Aul saw it. Run, run, you idiot. Hosfa ran, not seeing the monster's claws seizing Aul's back, mercilessly biting off the lizard's head. He ran for a long time. He ran without noticing the fatigue. It took him a moment to realize that the surroundings movement had stopped. There was no thunder above them. Realizing this, he began to slow down. Ahead was a vast space free of trees, low grass, a strip of forest somewhere in the distance. The bright sky was covered by a chaotic swarm of clouds, and behind was a wall of dark trees. They escaped Savvarah. Hosfa could not believe his eyes. It was like a dream. There was no scorching heat, just a slight chill in the air that he had never felt in Savvarah. Wild grass seemed soft. The Savarian grass were mostly herbs with thick leaves and rather voluminous stems. Hosfa knelt down, expecting Kihira to manage to get off. He held her up, mindful of her injured leg, when she collapsed to the ground, breathing heavily. The price of love. Blood oozed profusely from her back. Oh no. No, when? The branches must have pierced her body. A chill ran down Hosfa's back. They were meant for him, but she became a living shield. His hands trembled. It's all because of me. Heroes took Hosfa's hand. These were the best days of my life. Hos, have you ever seen such a beautiful sky? And the grass, it's so soft. Why would I need any of this without you? Thank you. Her eyes went glassy. Hosfa could not suppress his feelings. He never thought of his own salvation, never dreamt of seeing a free land like Aul, nor did he flee from death like others. He only wished to be with Kihira, but in the end, only he survived. It seemed like another mockery of Akatal. A maddening fatigue took over him. He had neither the strength nor the will to get up. Hosfa lay down in the grass beside the breathless Kihira, as if hoping that things would be very different after sleep. Should they even end up back in the perilous dungeon? He fell asleep. It wasn't a regular dream. In such dreams, Hosfa could control himself, but subconsciously he realized that the illusion of what was happening. But now, even though his mind told him it was unreal, everything seemed so true. He was standing on his feet, but there was no ground beneath him. There was mist everywhere, as if he were in the clouds. The voice. You are the one I've always been waiting for. Who are you? They used to call me the teacher. My name is Dadar. Thank you for your interest in our game. The world of Savvarah is not limited to this demo. It is developing thanks to your help. Very soon, you will see the sequel to the game. And for now, watch for updates on its official page. With love, Cinavar ST. That's really, really good. That's really good. I guess we got the official ending of it, but we only unlocked endings 2 of 4. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start back over from the monster fight. And see if there's any extra changes we can make tomorrow. That might change the dialogue. Maybe we'll get ending 3 or 4. I'm assuming this is ending 4. I'm not sure. Let's go back and check the achievements here. First epilogue. Okay. And then not a slave. So it looks like the last one would be the King of Beasts. I'm assuming that might be what it is. But I don't know, because we got, well, because here's Price of Love, right? This is the last ending we got. So it could be the Price of Freedom. It could be Aghori. It could be the King of Beasts. But we've only got 3 more achievements. So let's try to get those knocked out tomorrow. Let's figure it out. That was such a good story. Oh my God, dude. Like, I liked what I read before, pardon me, beforehand. But dude, this took it to a whole new level. That was so, that was awesome, dude. Anyways, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for liking, subscribing. Don't forget to click the notification bell. If you have any suggestions for any other games you'd like to see me play, leave them in the comments below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day.